Okay. So what I'm doing here is something I call Junior High School Confidential. I started keeping a journal in 1970, which I built on top of an autobiography I had to write when I was in the 6th grade. And I've kept it ever since. And the issues in those first couple of years are pretty typical. Adolescent angst, conflict between my divorced parents, the ups and downs of the Dallas Cowboys, growing up as an Anglo in a community that was 90% Hispanic, Mission, Texas, and of course, girls. So what I have here are excerpts from my journals from 1971 and 1972, rewritten a bit to be family friendly. And so here it goes, and what I'll do is I'll also add a little explanation in places. So February 14th, 1971. The Student Council t-shirts finally came in. They are terrific. Dark maroon with a white and maroon emblem drawn by Delia. Since the adult size is too small for some folks, we're going to order 3 dozen more, only in a larger size. The next day, February 15th. Last Friday in 5th period, all the 8th grade males saw a film on health issues. It was a sane, interesting, and very well done film. It didn't pull any punches, but it wasn't sensational. The narrator was the co-star of Marcus Welby, MD, the guy that plays Dr. Steve Kiley. Chucky, Mike, Randy, and the other guys thought it was funny. You know how some guys act, but they just don't know better. From 1972. Tuesday or so in social studies, we saw a film about Mexican-American culture. It started with this vato, which is border slang for guy, called Roberto, showing the audience his friends and neighborhood. He said he doesn't have much pride in it. Then the voice of actor Ricardo Montalban cut in and shows Roberto and the audience the part Chicanos play in America, past and present, Mexico and Aztec culture, and athletes and politicians, actors, musicians, and more. I thought it was interesting. In class, we were supposed to have a discussion of the film afterward, but Mrs. Cavazos did most of the talking, and the rap got half-hearted attention. That's when rap meant something other than music. 1972. Yesterday, Coop, that's my brother, called Dad in New York City. After my parents divorced, he wound up moving from Texas to Manhattan to ask for a 10-speed bike for his birthday. Dad and I did more of the talk, or rather he did. A month ago, he called and got the impression that I wanted to go up and visit. I wrote and told him I didn't. He said last night that reading that I didn't want to visit hurt more than losing sight in his eye. Anyway, we had a talk with me throwing in a yeah now and then. Mom, who was in bed, told me, don't let him con you. All in all, it shook me up. No matter how lousy a husband and father he has been, he's still human, and with his health the way it is, who knows, he might die soon. August 4th, 1972, I want to make references to things you might remember. I'm sitting on the couch writing. It is 11:35 p.m. I'm watching the Johnny Carson show. The next guest up is Dr. Paul Ehrlich, population expert. A year ago, I read his book, The Population Bomb. In the news, the attempted assassin of Governor George Wallace, Arthur Bremer, was found guilty and sentenced to 63 years. In the World Chess Championship, Bobby Fischer of the USA beat Boris Spassky of the USSR and moved him ahead 6.5 to 3.5. Thomas Eagleton, Democratic VP candidate, resigned, so George McGovern is looking for a running mate. Ed Muskie is the leading candidate. So you can tell from that kind of reference that I became a newspaper reporter. So I'm going to give you a couple of updates on the last 38 years, 48 years in some of these cases. First, the film on health issues worked. Never had any health issues I can talk about. My father, who I was worried about his health at the time, actually lived another